Hey, welcome. This is a 30-minute gentle flow class. I'm Heather, I'm the Bent Yogi. The class is free, but if you would like to make a donation, you can Venmo my studio, Sanctuary Power Yoga. Let's get started. Let's start in child's pose. If it's comfortable for you, if it works for your body, set up your child's pose. And you might work with your knees wide here and your hips back towards your heels. Take your hands forward, let your head rest. Hi, welcome. If it's more comfortable, you can come into a child's pose with your knees together and your arms alongside you. If child's pose doesn't work, absolutely, you can start seated. If you're not sure if you want to actually participate in the practice, then I invite you just to listen and maybe watch. And even if you're not moving with us, then breathe with us. So as you come into your child's pose, whatever that variation is, or as you come into whatever pose you are beginning in, take a deep breath in and a long breath out. Take a big inhale, fill up. And a long exhale. Gently empty out. Once more, take a big breath in. And a full exhale. And then allow yourself just to settle into a natural rhythm of a breath. Hi, welcome. We're in child's pose. If you prefer to start seated, you can come start seated. Start to feel your breath. You don't have to force your inhale or your exhale, but simply in shifting your attention to your breath, you might notice your inhale can be a little deeper, a little fuller, and your exhale, like a sigh of relief. You are right here, right now. We are right here, right now. As you feel your breath in your body. Check in with your body. Notice any place where there's tension. And simply in bringing your attention to that place or those places, now there's the opportunity to soften. Just like your breath, you don't have to force that softness. Notice the places where there's tension, where there's tightness. It might be a physical place in your body. It might be tightness, heaviness in your heart. It might be a pattern of thoughts or a thought in your thinking mind, right, that just keeps coming up. Once you bring your attention to any of that, once you acknowledge it, then you do have the opportunity to soften. You can settle in here. Feel yourself grounded, supported. Take a big breath in. And a long breath out. Once more in your child's pose, take a big inhale. And a long exhale. Now come to your hands and knees, your tabletop. Set your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. You can make fists with your hands if that works better for your wrists. You can also put an extra layer under your knees if there's any kind of discomfort there. On your inhale, lift your gaze, lift your heart, lift your tailbone, let your belly drop. And as you exhale, round your spine. Pull your belly button up towards your spine, more space between your shoulder blades. Inhaling, letting your belly drop, chest comes forward, hips lift. So a couple of cat-cows. And as you exhale, rounding your spine. Move through a couple of these. Take your time. It's not a huge movement, but at the same time, there's really a lot happening in your spine. And you add in your breath, and you feel your hands, you feel your knees, the tops of your feet. You can feel where you are, what you're doing, what we are doing. When you're ready, come to a neutral spine, tuck your toes under, and lift your hips up just for a short downward facing dog. If you like child's pose, you can come into child's pose. If you're working with your downward dog, take your time. Set your hands on your mat. Spread your fingers really wide. I really like downward dog, but it took me a long time to get to a place where I could enjoy my downward dog. Give yourself a couple of breaths. Notice any resistance, again, tension. As you notice that, keep bringing your attention back to your breath. Feel your foundation. You can have an intention this evening to soften. Soften physically. Soften the tension in the physical body. Soften any tension in the heart or the mind. Take a long breath in. And a long breath out. Take a big inhale. Open your mouth, empty out. And from your downward dog, begin to walk your hands back towards your feet. You might soften your knees a lot. Set your feet to about hips width distance if they're not there already. And come on into your ragdoll. Hands can dangle. Hands can come to your mat or to a prop. Maybe opposite hand into the crook of opposite elbow. If a deep forward fold like this doesn't work for you, then stay with more of a flat back. You can put a big bend in your knees. If this is the end of your day, the end of your work day, notice what stuff from your day or from your work that you bring onto your mat, in your body, in your mind, in your heart. Feel if you can begin to pay more attention to your breath. Notice your feet. Feel your feet connect to the ground. Allow yourself to be in this space. And have a little time for yourself. We all need time, space. We all need to care for ourselves and to care for each other. Caring for yourself puts you in a better place to care for others. Take a big breath in and a long exhale. If you are holding your elbows in your ragdoll, release your hands. You can keep your feet at hips width distance or walk your feet closer together, maybe even to touch. Soften your knees and come on up to stand. Take your hands up. Fill up. You can look up if it works to go back, maybe a little bit of a standing back bend. Take a really big breath in. Bring your hands to your heart. Pause for a moment. You can set your gaze, lower your gaze. You can close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice, you can set an intention. If that's not something that resonates with you, there is intention. Trust that there is intention in showing up. Absolutely, there is intention in showing up, and that's what we're doing. Showing up for ourselves, showing up for each other. Take a long breath in. And a long breath out. If your eyes are closed, open your eyes, and then really slowly walk yourself to the front edge of your mat. From the heel to the ball of the foot to your toes. Notice if you are inclined to rush. Take your time. When you arrive at the front edge of your mat, just pause. Take a breath. Soften your shoulders, soften your face, your jaw. Inhale, sweep your hands up. Fold forward, exhale. Soften your knees as you fold. If you can drop your head, let your head drop. Find your halfway lift, a flat back, and take a couple breaths here. You can keep that bend in your knees, work with your hands on your shins if you like. Hands alongside your toes is a nice option. Take a deep breath in. Gently fold forward as you exhale. Find that flat back. Once more, halfway lift. And then with your hands on your mat, step your left foot back behind you. Come into a runner's lunge. Right knee tracks over right ankle. Left knee is lifted, or you can bring your left knee down to your mat. Set your left hand under your left shoulder and twist to your right. Take your right arm up to the sky. If you want a little bit of lift under that left hand, you can make a fist, you can come up to a prop, or even come to your left fingertips. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, bring your right hand down. Gently bring your left knee down if it's not there already. Coming into a kneeling lunge. Right foot can stay where it is. Hands can stay low on your mat. Or you can walk your hands up to your front thigh. Take your time here. Take a couple breaths, one breath at a time. The foot can stay where it is, but you might find as you breathe, there's room to bring the front knee a little bit forward. The hips move forward and down. Soften your shoulders. Feel the crown of your head reach up to the sky. Inhale, sweep your hands up. You can look up. Exhale, bring your hands down inside your right foot. Tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee. Spin your left foot flat. Set your right hand inside of your right foot. And then take your left arm up to the sky. So this is your side angle. If you want some lift under that right hand, come to your fingertips. Bring a prop under the right hand. You can even slide your right elbow up to your right thigh. Feel your whole back foot on your mat. As you bring attention to that back foot, you can roll the baby toe side down. Feel your top hand high, feel your fingers. Can you feel the space between your fingers? Take a breath in and a breath out. On your inhale, let that top arm bring you up to your warrior two. Pause, feel your feet. You can set your gaze out over your front middle finger. If it works better for your neck, your shoulders, look at the side wall. On an inhale, straighten your front leg, reach your hands up. As you exhale, sink back into your warrior two, just a little bit of movement. Inhale, sweep your hands up, straightening your front leg. Exhale, coming back to your warrior two. Inhale, straightening your front leg, lifting, reaching high. Exhale, come back to your warrior two. Pause here, take a big breath in. As you exhale, bring your hands down to your mat, step your left foot forward to meet your right. Find your halfway lift. Fold forward, exhale. Inhale, come on up to stand. Hands reach high, lift up, you can look up. Fold forward, exhale. Softening your knees as you fold, let your head drop. Find your flat back here, your halfway lift. Bring your hands to your mat. Now step your right foot back behind you. You can walk your left foot a little to your left, a runner's lunge. Right hand under your right shoulder. You find a place that works. And twist to your left. Take your left arm up to the sky. Connect through your back leg, back knee lifted or lowered. Feel your back leg. Feel the foot on the mat. If the knee is on the mat, feel your knee. Even though you can't see that back leg, integrate it. Use it. Bring connection through your whole body. Connect into this breath. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, your left hand comes down. Gently bring your right knee down to your mat. Come into a kneeling lunge. Hands low if you like. Walk them up to your front thigh. Any kind of discomfort with this right knee, just fold the right edge of your mat under. Pause here. Feel your left foot on your mat. You can have your toes on your mat, but soften your toes. And not trying to make anything happen. You don't have to make the knee come forward. You don't have to make your hips come forward. You don't have to make your body or your heart or your mind open. But you can be present for when space does become available, for when softness happens. Be present to notice that. Inhale, take your hands up. You can look up. As you exhale, bring your hands down inside that left foot. Tuck your back toes under. Lift your right knee. Spin your back foot flat. Left hand inside of your left foot. And then take your right arm up to the sky. A little lift will go a long way here, whether you come to your fingertips or grab your ankle or bring your elbow to your thigh. That little bit of lift allows you to open through the front of your body. It might give you a little more support so that you don't have to hang on, you don't have to struggle. And that can be a really eye-opening experience to recognize that you don't have to struggle on your mat or off your mat. As you inhale, let that top arm pull you up to warrior two. Keep the bend in your front knee. Pause. Lengthen through your arms. Feel to the tips of your fingers. Press into your feet. Soften your toes. As you inhale, straighten that front leg. Hands reach high. Exhale, come back to your warrior two. Inhale, straighten, lengthen both legs, hands up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, lengthen and reach. Exhale, come back to your warrior two. Pause once more. Feel your shoulders over your hips, 2 feet on your mat. Take a big inhale. Exhale, hands come down to your mat. Right foot steps to meet your left. Halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come on up to stand. Take your hands up. Reach up, lift your heart. Draw your hands to your heart for a moment. Check in. Take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. Inhale, sweep your hands high, reach up. Fold forward, exhale. Find your halfway lift with your hands on your mat. Step your left knee back, bring it down. Step your right knee back, bring it down so you're in your tabletop. Set your hands under your shoulders. Once more, a couple of cat-cows. Lifting your chest, lifting your gaze and your tailbone. Exhale, rounding your spine. Right? Notice if there's any difference from the first time that we did this. Letting your breath initiate the movement. Coming to center, neutral spine. Take your right arm out to the right and then thread the needle. Right arm comes under you, come to your right shoulder. You can bring the right side of your face down. If that doesn't quite work, maybe a prop under your face. Left hand can stay where it is. Left hand can extend forward. You can also take your left arm around behind your back. Different sensations when you take the arm forward. There's this sense of lengthening when you take the arm around behind your back, opening your heart. Your hips might be over your knees. Your hips might be more towards your heels. Feel your body, feel your breath. Feel that you have the time, the opportunity to create this experience for yourself. Take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. And come back to your tabletop, hands and knees, pause. Take your left arm out to the left and then slide it under you. Come onto your left shoulder, the left side of your face. Feel where your left fingers end and feel right to the tips of your fingers. Again, options with the right arm. You can take your right arm forward. You can wrap it around behind your back. So you might be curious about this. It doesn't have to be the same as the other side. Can you feel your body? Can you feel your breath? Can you notice when you get distracted and then gently invite yourself to come back? Really invite yourself to be in your body, to enjoy your body, enjoy your breath. Take a big inhale and a long exhale. And then come back to your tabletop, your hands and knees. Here, tuck your toes under, so your toes are pointing forward. And then if you can, sit back on your heels. You can walk your hands back. You can notice sometimes this baby toe, this pinky toe gets pointed in the wrong way, so make sure all 10 toes are pointed towards your knees. If it doesn't work to sit all the way back on your heels, you can have your hands in front of you. Take your time with this. It might be a little sensation, might be a lot of sensation. If you feel like you have room, you can always just kind of wiggle your knees a little bit more forward. Pay attention to those baby toes. You can also put a block between your hips and your heels. Notice your breath the whole time, especially if there's a lot of sensation. Notice your breath. Can you maintain your breath? Can you maintain an intention to soften and stay? If you want to walk your hands back behind you, you can spin your fingers back. Right, maybe lift your heart here. Gaze can go up, or you can drop your head all the way back and open through your throat, just mindful of your neck. Take a big breath in. And a long breath out. Wherever you are, take a deep inhale and a long exhale. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. And then really slowly make your way out of this. Come to your tabletop, your hands and knees, untuck your toes. And if you want to tap the tops of your feet on your mat, you can. If you kind of want to wiggle your toes a little bit, you can. And then from here, sit back over your heels and lie down on your back. Come onto your back. Draw your knees into your chest. Give them a squeeze. Take your right leg out straight and let your left knee come over to your right for your twist. If you want to work with your knees together, you can. If you like another twist, you can work with that. Use the right hand on top of the left knee as a self-assist, and the left arm can come out like a wing. You can turn your gaze to the left. Taking your time here in this twist. Taking maybe a little more time than usual. Feel that you don't have to, again, you don't have to force the knee down or force the shoulder down. But as you stay and as you breathe, can you soften into it? Notice where you are holding on. Even notice what you're holding on to. And then feel that you have this really great opportunity to take a big inhale and a long exhale. Bring your left knee back to center. Draw both knees into your chest. Pause. Now extend your left leg straight out on your mat. Right knee stays in, and take your right knee over to your left for your twist. Again, you can work with a different variation. Knees together, eagle legs if you like that. Right arm can come out like a wing, and you can turn your gaze to the right. Let it work for your neck, your shoulders. Feeling your breath in your body, even hearing your breath. Feeling that you have some time to slow down. That you do have the space and the support to soften. My family's moving furniture upstairs. Come back to center. Give your knees a squeeze. And then set up for your Shavasana. If you have a wall near you, I invite you to take your legs up against the wall. If legs straight out for Shavasana doesn't work, you can try Supta Baddha Konasana. That's just your feet together and your knees wide. Sometimes that gives you some support, some relief in your low back. You can also try knees together and feet wide. If you have props handy, you can take your legs out and put props under your knees. If you want to come to seated for Shavasana, you can come to seated. If it works, close your eyes or lower your gaze softly. If you are on your back for Shavasana, I invite you to bring your arms, your hands alongside you and spin your palms up. Spin your palms up, your shoulders soften down. There's this sense of opening through the front of your body. And take a really big, deep, full breath in and draw in as much air as you can. Hold that breath at the top so there's some tension. It's intentional. And then open your mouth and release. You can keep your attention on your breath as much as you need it, so you can support yourself in being here. Right, pay attention to where and how your body connects to the ground. Let your physical body get heavy. Almost feel the ground rise up to meet you and support you. And as your body gets heavy and softens, your heart, your mind can soften and be light. Once more, take a really big, deep, full breath in. Open your mouth, empty out. Wiggle your fingers and your toes, and you can let your head roll softly side to side. If you are on your back, draw your knees into your chest and roll to one side. Pause for a moment, take a breath in, and a breath out. Make your way to seated, bring your hands to your heart. Take a moment, acknowledge yourself, your intention this time, our shared experience. Drawing your thumbs to your forehead, to your third eye center. Bowing forward in gratitude, together we say, Namaste. Thanks for joining me, everyone. I hope you enjoyed practice. If you have any questions, you can always send me a message. My website is thebentyogi.com. My studio website is sanctuarypoweryoga.com. I'm starting a YouTube channel. We'll be adding this video. This will be up on Instagram for 24 hours, but I'm also going to add it to my YouTube channel. If you want to make a donation, you can Venmo my studio money, Sanctuary Power Yoga. Thank you all so much for joining me. I'll be back on Instagram Wednesday morning at 7:30 for more of a vinyasa flow class. I hope you can join me. Take care. Thank you. Great to see you guys. Stay well. Thank you.